I'm live. So I'm live on YouTube and on TikTok. I'm live, and tonight I'm going to be answering some questions. I get asked a lot of questions via Messenger on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and all of that. So listen, guys, if any of you message me and I ain't got back to you, you're thinking he's been a bit rude, him, what's up with him? I'm not being rude, it's just literally, if I respond to everybody, all my evenings are took up and the missus ain't getting happy about it. So, you know, you've got to keep the wife happy. Happy wife, happy life. So, literally, I've just been keeping them there, saving them up, and then, like I say, I'm going to be doing these every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And yeah, any questions I get, I'll answer as many as I can. Probably aiming to look to be around the hour mark, hour and a half mark maximum, really. But yeah, if anyone comes on, you want to come on, you can ask me any questions you want. And if I know the answer or if I've got a clue for you, I'll share it with you. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, this is my first one. It's the first time I've done a live on YouTube, and I've done live on TikTok, but it's usually just a bit of crack on there. But yeah, so these are my proper ones. So yeah, like I say, I'm going to crack on then and get into it. But before I do, I'll tell you a little bit what I've been up to. So I've been last few weeks has been proper like good as far as progress goes for me as a business and for me learning and stuff like that. It's been good, proper good. I've been to Cork and met up with Jamie there and literally done the training, looked at the products, got educated, and honestly it blew my mind some of the stuff we went through down there, you know, with the Cork products. And yeah, I'm buzzing, completed that, got my certificate, I'm on the registered list, and I've actually completed one job already. So I'm going to have a video of that coming up on YouTube channel, so that's going to be going up. But yeah man, I've honestly, when you see the video and you know when I talk you through what I actually did when I was spraying that cork, you're gonna blow your mind. I could top coat a three bed semi, all three sides by myself in a day. So that's one pass. No, that's two passes. Sorry, one kind of close, the other one a bit further back, and then you might have to come back the next day and do it again if you know you need to get the colour right on it so it ain't patch or anything. But full day I could coat it all. Next day come back for a morning and finish it off and it's done. Silicone I couldn't do that because you have to spray it absolutely perfect, and there's a technique to it. But the way it goes with the cork, there's a technique to it, but it's easier and it sprays better than silicone. So yeah, I'll be putting that up anyway. So I went and did the cork sol, loved that, buzzing, so I'm all over that. I also works on internal stuff, which is something I want to get into as well, big time on the insulation side of it. So that was good. So been there, done that was mint. And then I've also been today down to Direct Building Products, which I say down like it's far away from me. It's round the corner. I'm in Leeds. It's in Bradford. So I went over there, and it's something that I've been threatening for a long time to do. Like get a thin cut machine. You guys have seen I've used the Easy 24. I've got a Graco handheld hopper. I've had different types of hoppers. Yeah, I've tried the other machines like the Swing, and yeah, I've tried a few. And I went down here and I was pecking heads, mate. I was like saying to guys like, listen, this needs to be, you know, it's someone asking me a question here. Sorry, I'm just reading it. Yeah. Anyway, I was asking, pecking their heads about it. Can it do this? Can it do that? Can it do this? Can that? Dave will say, come down. I'll pull you one out, and we'll do. You can see. You tell me what you want it to do, and if it can do it, there you go. So I went down and there's going to be a video coming out about it, and yeah, it did everything I wanted it to do. And obviously it'll be a better video in more depth coming up, but literally yeah, it's going to be a game changer. That phrase gets chucked about quite a bit, but this is going to be a game changer. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. A couple of exciting things there. Won some nice jobs, some nice rendering projects, and takes me up to June time. So I've got a couple that are priced up that are, you know, we're just working on the deal now, but literally probably looking to be done, you know, for like July. Well, I've got some news actually. I don't want to say that right now. But yeah, I'm going to have some time off in July. So yeah, and then winter time comes, and then look at me thinking my year away. But yeah, when winter time comes, I'm probably gonna be jumping on doing a lot more Cork thermal work. That's what I'll be looking at doing winter time, I think. So I'm gonna talk to them guys about that. But yeah, anyway, everything's all good, man. I'm back on track. I'm enjoying it. Everything's all right, man. So yeah, let's get into it. I'll answer this one question that someone's just asked me on TikTok right now. Someone's just asked me, how much do you pay your labourers? I think that question's, how do you answer it? I mean, I don't want to tell you what I'm paying my labourer right now, but he's getting paid. He's getting paid more than the average labourer would get. He's taking over 400 a week home. So I guess that's good for a labourer. But yeah, it's I think some labourers aren't really, worth that much. They just literally want to brush up and load the bags on, which is fine, fair enough if you just want them to do that. But I've found a guy that's really into it. He's took to it like duck to water, mate. He has literally setting my machine up by himself. He's only a little fella as well. I was quite shocked he could pull the machine about, to be honest with you. But he's been setting the machine up after showing him it a couple of times, and he's still a little bit slower on the cleaning down part of it, because I am like really, I'm really nitty picky about how it gets packed away at end at night, because I like to set it up when I'm taking the machine apart is when I like to set it up. So I'm not just taking it apart to put it back away and not use it again. I'm usually using it on consecutive days. So when I take my machine down, the way I clean it down and set it up is that the next day I just need to put a mixing shaft in and turn it on, and I can start spraying. So it's probably a little bit more complicated than most people do, like just taking it apart and stripping it and cleaning it. But it just means that I can go quicker the next time I go to get set up. So yeah, I think that part's been a little bit trickier for him, but I guess it would be for many people who's never used a machine before. So, but he's really good, very clean. He's a window cleaner as well. He's very clean, very particular, and yeah, I've been looking for someone for a while. So, and he's flexible as well, so that's a good thing. I've been looking for someone who's flexible. I don't want someone who's with me every day, but just the other 2, 3, 4 days a week, 5 days if I need him. Might be one day. So it's worked out well. So, but he gets paid good. He gets paid. He's clearing £400 a week, like I say to you. It's way above minimum wage or working wage, whatever that is. Yeah. So he's good. He's worth it. What's this one I've got here? What compressor are you using for the Cork? So I know that you're meant to use a 100 litre compressor or a continuous presser, like a Gentlin, or there's some other ones you can get out there with a continuous ones. I've got a continuous one, pardon me, out there. Yeah, I've got a continuous one, but yeah, it's meant to be a 100 litre one. But I'll be honest with you, with Cork, what I found, I've got two 50 litre 3 horsepower compressors. I've got 2 of them now. I only use one at a time, obviously, with this. But what I'm going to tell you is, I was shocked, right? Because Cork is so light and the material is so light. 50 litre compressor it will bang on. It will bang on. Even when it dropped to like 3 or 4 bar, it was absolutely booting it out. Do you know what I mean? So it starts off on 6, 7, and it gradually goes down. It sits around 3 to 4. Does my 50 litre one, 3 to 4 bar, and honestly, it just pumped it out, mate. You can do a full upper in, and you can hold a full upper because Cork's dead light. So I can hold a full upper like that and just spray and spray and spray, and it does a fair few meters, you know what I mean? So yeah, the compressor I use is just a 50 litre one. But like I said, I'm gonna probably be selling both of them. Actually, I am gonna sell both of them because I won't need them now, because I've got a new machine. I've got an Optimix 10, and it's got a compressor on it that I can take off, and it just hold it in one hand. And it's a continuous one, so I don't need an air tank for it, gas tank. My America. So I don't have an air tank on it, so I can literally just use that. So, with a little hopper. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be using. But yeah, Cork's really light, mate. You don't, I know they say that you need a 100 litre one, but I've been using a 50 with 3 horsepower, and it's been an absolute treat, to be honest with you. sprayed a full house with it and it was absolutely mint. So yeah, it's a good one, it's really good. But yeah, any more questions, just boom them up, man, and I'll answer them for you. I think I've got one on this actually on Facebook. Not on Facebook, what's it called? Where's the live chat? Okay. Wayne Cox, pal of mine, Wayne, he's on Facebook. And what's it say here? Where's it gone now? Show me it then. So Wayne Cox, been down to Cork all today, future build, and then buzzing for the course. Ah yeah, so Cork's are actually on down at Future Build in London, and they've got a stand down there. They've been smashing it. I've seen Jamie put up on Cork's post today that is they've been winning the when you go around these shows, you get like a little meter thing, and basically when you get interest on it, you just dab it on, and it goes onto like a computer, and you add it all up. And Cork's had the most interest out of all the companies there for. Well, they had it the first day, and I think they've got it the second day too. So that's a good thing in it for Cork. So yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a good thing, mate. So I'm buzzing to be part of that. And yeah, anyone who's looking to do it, who's a plasterer or renderer, and you're looking for another coating option for your customers, which is going to be premium, I'd look at it, man. Definitely look into it and getting on it. It's the setup for it is not that expensive to do. Obviously the product itself is a premium product, and that's what it is. So you've got to have the right market for it, or people who are understand what value they're going to be getting for it. So that's something else. But yeah, it's mega, mate. Nice one, Wayne, for going down there, mate. You'll have to let me know how it goes when you get on course as well. Let me see how you got on with that, mate. So well, that's good. Let me have a look on here. I've got some more. Don't think I'm going to get to read them ones I've got. You have done Brick Effects render. So you mean ashlar pattern? I've never done a full job of ashlar. I've just done like a little detail. I did, oh God, I can't remember that one. Where was that? I've done a little bit of ashlar, like I say, it's been more detail. When I've done houses before, where back in the day when I used to work for someone, and literally we only used to patch back in with sand and cement and all of this modern stuff. So we used to use sand and cement. And yeah, literally what it was about, but we didn't use that. The council used to spec for sand and cement, so we used to do that. And basically, yeah, we used to just do it, but we only used the level. We only used a normal spirit level and put the bricks in ourselves. Do you know what I mean? To make it look like the render that was on before. So yeah, I ain't really done no big jobs of ashlar. I've got an ashlar set though. I've got the full setup for it with a spirit level. I bought that a fair few years ago because I was going to have a big job to do in it, because I won a project called Mansion Gates, and I was doing all the plastering on it. It was like a 16 plot thing with 16 plot houses, and it was 3 big mansions and 4 flats it was. But then they had like a joining staircase that they built up in block, but it couldn't go back in block or brick. It needed to go in with a building which was sandstone, so they actually opted to use Parex, and I was going to do ashlar on that, so that's why I bought the set. But yeah, commercial job, and we fell out of love on that, so I didn't finish the rendering part. I just did the plastering and left it. I didn't want to take any more, so I left it. So yeah, did that. But yeah, it is a nice finish, man. I've seen some people doing good ashlar jobs. I think it's a great finish, and it's a good technique. I'm getting tagged in someone on Facebook there. Yeah, so what you're saying, I've got another question here. I'll get to that one in a sec. I've got a question here. Always quality worker standard, smashing it. Cheers, pal. Don't know your name because it's just got loads of dots, but appreciate the love. Thank you, bro. What's this? Best hopper for Silicone TC. Do you know what? The verdict on that, right? It's kind of open. I use a Graco hopper. It's very expensive for an hopper, I think, 198 quid. I think it's about 198 quid or something like that, 97 quid what they do, plus VAT. Now, I think it's good. I think it's a good machine, a good little hopper, shall I say. It comes with a lid and stuff like that, but mate, I don't use the lid. The lid's not on it no more. It's just the hopper in my hand, and basically I just drop it on, and that's how I go. So for me, I think it's more, instead of worrying about what the hopper, you know what the hopper is, the hopper doesn't do the finish, do you know what I mean? The hopper's just basically something that's gravity fed for the material to go through, so it don't change anything. I think if you put a 6mm or an 8mm nozzle on, that can change how big your fan's going to be when you're spraying, but I'd say you want to concentrate on air, and you want to concentrate on your technique more than anything. Just to give you a little tip when you're spraying thin coat render through a hopper, is just remember you can build it up, but you can't take it away. So when I tell you stand back from the wall, you know, until you find like your decent range to spray from. So I used to start further away and work my way in until I found a pattern that if I consistently did it, it was going to finish better and quicker, and that's what I did. Now automatically I know where that is gauged, so I don't need to think it. But some people, when they first give my hopper gun someone to spray something, they go right up to the wall and start going like that, and then it builds up on the wall and it looks rubbish, and they're wondering why. And it's like, you can always add more to it. Do you know what I mean? It's opposite than mono. Do you know what I mean? You can always add some more. So if I spray a full wall and that part of the wall there looks a bit patchy compared to that one, I can then go over it again and spray a bit more over it. Do you know what I mean? To build it back up. So with mono, you want to overbuild it so you can knock it back. With thin coat, you want to build it. So it's a different thing. So concentrate on your technique and getting the air in. That's what you want to concentrate on. Don't worry about hopper guns. They're all decent, do you know what I mean? It's just make sure you get one that hasn't got a really long barrel on it, because the material sometimes it can compact at the bottom. You want it to go down and out. That's it. We don't want it sitting there building up on itself. We want it to go down and out. That's it. So yeah, that's what I'd recommend you get for an hopper. One that's got a short stubby nose and it's powerful. Right, I've got a few here on YouTube. Let me have a look. There's a lot. Evening, big fella. Watching from Scotland. Paul Electrician. Top man. Cheers for that, mate. Thanks for that, pal. I appreciate that. I appreciate my Scottish brothers getting on. Even though you're a Sparky, we'll let that go. Don't you worry about it. Mark Neeson shared the trial talk. Cheers, Mark. Top geezer you are, mate. What's this here? Why won't it just stay up? What's the after spraying from the hopper, do you still have to plastic float it? Work safe renovations. My man Isaiah, what's happening? I hope you're well, mate. So after spraying with a hopper, do you still have to plastic float it? No, you don't. The only time you plastic float over when you sprayed that is if you built up too heavy. So if I built up somewhere that's a bit too heavy, I'll knock it down with the plastic float and just knock it down, and then let it pull in, and then I'll spray again from a distance just to blend it to make it look all the same. There's an option that you can spray a wall and then rub it down anyway. You can, but I think with a hopper you're not going to be quick enough. Like, as in, you know, it's not really fast enough. You're not going to be getting enough area out. Whereas if you've got a bigger machine like an Optimix and you're spraying with that, you've got to think, I can box off like the front of an house and, you know, get a good old area on, then drop back and start rubbing it because I've got it on. I think with an hopper, it's a little bit, well, it's a lot slower than a machine, to be honest with you. But it's easy if you're one person on your own. But I would not attempt to spray. If I would plan on rubbing a full wall up, a decent sized wall, I wouldn't want to spray it. I would probably hand apply it. But like I say, we don't do hand applying around here. We spray everything. So yeah, but you can, mate. Yeah, effectively you can, but you might get caught out with getting dry lines. Remember, silicone, if it goes off, mate, and you've got a line, it looks terrible. If you are going for the rub to perfect. Whereas spraying, you don't have to worry about the line. You don't have to worry about it. So that's why I spray as well. So that's one of the other reasons why. So yeah, that's why I do that, mate. But I hope you're well, man. And give me a message, get in touch, bro. Good to speak to you. What's this? You alright, Mosh? I do PVC spraying, exterior render. I'm looking open courses spray render. Is it worth it, mate? And what's the best setup to get first of, pal? Keep up the good work. So let me just check over that. I'm looking into going in a course spray rendering. Is it worth it? Right, what am I going to say here? So is it worth it? Spray rendering. Yeah, of course it's worth it. I'll do it. I'm trying to explain or trying to think how you could do it. I'd say it's skill. Um, it's quite a skill to do. I've got something for you if you want to go into doing some sort of spray coatings. I've got an idea for you. But just for instance though, if you did want to do rendering part of it, it's worth it going into it. But I would look at it like it's kind of a skill, mate. You've got to rule up walls and float them and make them flat and level, and yeah, it's a difficult one to get good at. It takes a bit of time, but there is a market. If you're already a sprayer, there actually is a market already that you could go into something that's new, not too new. It's been about, but I'm new to it now, and a lot of people are catching on to it as well. But as being someone who has sprayed, you'll know the part of taping up. If you're doing windows and that, you'll know about taping up and protecting and doing all that properly, won't you? And you'll have all the equipment already. But Cork Sol render coatings. It's called Cork Sol coatings because it can go on more or less anything. And there is going to be a market for that, mate, and it's going to be in spraying like respraying houses that are shot. So say you've got a house that the render looks old and tatty on, you can overspray it. You wash it all down properly, completely, and you can overspray it, and it actually goes over hairline cracks up to 2 mil. But they do something that's a cork filler as well that you can put into cracks that are a bit bigger, or if there's some damage, just repair it. But that is a coating, and it goes onto conservatory roofs, inside and outside. You can overspray brickwork with it, walls with it, and it looks nice, do you know what I mean? But it's got a lot of values as far as thermal technology in it, so a lot of people are getting it and using it as just a thermal barrier, do you know what I mean? So it can save quite a lot on your energy bills, you know, up to 30% heat loss, heat retention even in your house off that wall, do you know what I mean? It takes that 30% back for you, stops it, so it's going to be, I think it's taking off anyway. Like, I'm late to the party, mate, like, and I got offered this about 7 years ago. I know the guy who owns the company, Jamie Orr, and he offered it to me 7 years ago, and I was too ignorant to take it and talk to him about it. I did talk about it, I mean, won't rude or out, but I was ignorant in the sense of, nah, I'm a renderer, I'm a plasterer, nah, Cork won't do it, Cork's not for us. But literally, I've had my eyes opened up, man, proper, and yeah, I'm 7 years late. But go check out Lee Fiore, Total Trades. He's on my TikTok and on my Facebook. Go check him out. He's doing it, and he does roofs. He does big commercial jobs, mate, like spraying roofs and stuff like that. So there is a market for it, and it's only going to get bigger. And like I say, it's a lot more easier to get into if you've already got experience spraying. So I'd recommend that to you. Do you know what I mean? Pardon me. Just had my dinner. Bit full of it. But yeah, I'd recommend that to you, mate. And like I say, it's only going to get bigger. It's not going to decline like some stuff. Some stuff like a trend in it. Do you know what I mean? Some stuff that people get through is a trend. But I think with this one, Cork Sol, it's only going to get better. It's not going to decline. And especially with bills and that's going on. And yeah, it's just going to be. It's something that I'm offering, mate. Seriously, I'm looking into marketing properly. So yeah, I'd look at that if I were you. Before rendering, really, because rendering's actually quite hard. It's an hard job. One of my pals has been late, so one of your mates has got laid off in Donny. As he wants to get some jobs in and pick up. Oh well, you're laughing. If you've got a mate who's a renderer, there you go, you're on. If you're looking to get into it, mate, I don't know if you want to do, if he's ever used a machine or anything like that, but if he does, drop me an inbox, and I can put you on some people who can talk you through some good options, easy options. And actually, if you subscribe to the channel, you're going to see some videos on some machines in the next few weeks that I've actually been trialling out and using. So yeah, you'll get a lot of info coming up on them. Let me just say that. I've got another comment here from, I don't know why these aren't staying up. I need them to stay up. Hi Joel, I recently bought an MTech N200 and he's for getting the most from the machine for a new sprayer. Thanks, Jeff Lewis. So Jeff, I used to have an M200 fair few years ago. Good little machine, mate, really good little machine. The best to get something out of it, it depends what you're using it for. I mean, it's just like any machine, really. Good little machines. They're nice and easy to move. I don't know what your setup's like. Have you got a generator? Have you got the big 110 box with it? You want to use it for base coat? Right, okay, so if you haven't got a Jenny, I'll tell you what I found with M200. There's a lot of technology in these machines these days, right? So for me, I like to run it off a generator, because sometimes the power might not be consistent from people's houses as well, that I've found. So, you've got the Jenny. Alright, Jeff. Alright, Jeff. He's not playing games. He's like, yeah, mate, I got it, don't worry about it. Alright, Jeff, you're a man. You've got it all. You've got the setup now. Listen. You ready to go? All I will tell you to do with that machine, matey, if you can work that machine, you'll be alright with more or less any machine. Anyone who gets into spray rendering, all the single phase machines like them, like the Ritmos and all that, they're kind of difficult to get to know, to use. So honestly, start steady with it, start slow with it, and you know, always, because where the water and the powder mixes in the machines, you can get bridging and stuff like that in it. So you want to make sure that you're getting the gear right down in it, so the water doesn't jump up. Because if you start real quick on it and you're pouring gear in, the water jumps up, and what it'll do then, it'll wet the gear and it'll bridge around the entrance to where the powder goes in. So with any of them type of machines like that, it's key that you start really slow before you start blasting. So start steady, dropping the gear in, let it fill the mixing chamber up. And once that mixing chamber is come up above the mixing chamber, boom, get your bags dropped in, you're off then. It just means that the water, when it's coming in from the pump, is literally staying at the bottom. So that's a mistake that I made a lot of the times, and a lot of people do. And then you're ringing up your manufacturer going, this machine don't work, it's this, it's that. When really you just haven't loaded it properly, you've loaded it too quick. So that's what I'd say. And another tip for you, anyone who's using a machine, is go wetter, go wetter, go wetter. You might think it's falling off the wall, it ain't falling off the wall, mate. It's sound, but listen, go wetter. I had some guys today when I went over to DBP. I went over there, the same as your machine. Start and stop twice. What do you mean, Jeff? With my K4, mate, I could leave it sat for half an hour, go have some dinner and come back and it'll start again. It's a powerful machine. It's just got the like in your video. Now I'm blagged, I've got lots of videos and I don't know which one you mean, but literally with an M200 or a single phase machine like that, or any machine that's literally powder and water mixed in the same place, for me, I'm wary of leaving them sat for a bit, because like I say, if the water gets absorbed into the powder and goes up and it bridges, that's it. Yeah, I know what you mean about the 2 seconds actually. You're about turn it on, off, turn it on, off, turn it on and go. Yeah, you can do that. That just gives the motor a chance to, push the rotor stator, a chance to get some into it before it starts grafting. That's what it does. That's what I do it for. Too much powder, too quick, it'll do it, yeah. But we always just feed it in slowly by hand. That's why I do. Get it right down in chamber. Don't get your hand in chamber, but just drop it so it drops in, you know what I mean? That's what I'd do. Just be wary with it, but that's the only problem I've had with it. But yeah, with my K4, mate, because it's separate, and it's power that it's actually got and how it's set up and stuff like that, mate. I've gone for half an hour before and had something to eat, sat down and chilled out, come back, turned her on, and she's just gone grafted for about 3 or 4 seconds, then I spat the gear out, fit gear into a bucket, leave that, and then start spraying again. But that's a 3-phase machine with a 20 kVA generator. It's a powerhouse, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I'll tell you, mate. And just go wetter when you're spraying with it. Just spray wetter, and don't worry about it. Just spray wetter. Make sure your walls are wet, or you put down some sort of primer that slows it down, and get your meters on. That's what I'd say to you. That's my only advice really I'd give to people, is spray it wetter, and just trust it. Just have faith in it, you know what I mean? And be consistent as well. Don't worry if you get like stuck, you know what I mean, in your first few jobs. So my first job I ever did with an M200, I had a nightmare with it. I'd have had a nightmare with any machine because I wasn't experienced in it. I wish now I could go back and have that job every month because it was one of my biggest rendering jobs I ever had, and I don't think I made, well, I didn't make any money on it, and it was a 30 grand job. So I'd like to have that again with a K4, and I'd smash it out. So yeah, or any machine, give me an M200, I'd smash it out with it. It's just knowing the machines in it. But yeah, good luck with that, man. I hope you do well with it. Hope you do well with it, mate. I got another one. Sorry, my cat wants to get out. Go on, get out. Don't start coming in and out, messing about. I think she owns this house, this cat. Evening, mate. Learnt a lot from your videos trying to get into small rendering work for my landscape company. Legend. That is exactly what I like to hear. Robbie Hilbert, mate. What a geezer. So you've got into it, you want to get into it, sorry, and you're learning from doing these videos. That's what it's for. That's what I do it for, mate. That's what I want people to do. And you want to get into small garden walls. I guess if you're doing landscaping, you'll be doing like, people will be asking you for nice walls and planters and stuff like that. I've got a little bit of advice on them. I'm going to do a video on them, to be honest with you. But when it comes to garden walls, mate, it's perfect. It's something that I always say to people who say, I want to do my rendering. Do the garden walls, do the bay windows, do the, you know, the small jobs, the little outhouses and dwarf walls. Do all of that stuff, because that's where you're going to practice with an handball and trowel. That's where you're going to see how it reacts, how it, you know, how the material goes and stuff like that. And you're going to learn a lot. Spraying a big wall compared to doing a planter is easy. It's easy. It's just work. It's just literally that. It's just work, isn't it? But when it comes to intricate things like that, you really have to, you know, put your skills to the test. So yeah, good on you, mate. If you're gonna start doing it for garden walls, if you want to, yeah, so you're getting a lot of raised beds. Exactly. All I would say to you, mate, if you have to take rendering down on them, is get onto them, mate, and start with a material that. Let me think what gear I'd recommend. I'd recommend that you make sure you're obviously tanking the back of them, because if you're doing raised beds, a lot of problems I've had is where people have done their own raised beds, I've rendered them, and they end up, the water penetrates from the back, so they've got to make sure that the tank's properly inside, slurry coat and membrane, all that kind of stuff. Make sure that it's not going to come through to the front, because how many times people have done that and then that told me, and I'm like, well, if you haven't tanked it properly, it's not the render. So I've done it in your house and it's perfect. If your garden walls not working, it's kind of like the way you built it. So I'll just be careful with that. But when it comes to that, I'd probably go with something like, that's kind of forgiving. Like a X32, kind of a slow setter. I'll go with a Baumit KZP. Baumit KZP 65. It's something that you can bar back. So literally, by barring it back, what I mean is once you set your beads up with a level, and you want to put KZP 65 on, lay it on, and overshoot your beads, and then you can roll it back to get it flat the next day, because it's really soft the next day. Let it cure out, and then you can paint them. I'm guessing that's what you'll be doing, unless you want to put fin coat over the top. I don't really like monocouche on planters. I think with plants overgrowing onto them and stuff like that, the algae gets into the mono and it ends up blowing them and that. But I think fin coat's better, so I'd recommend you using that. But yeah, definitely look at Baumit KZP, something that's forgiving, something that gives you time, something that you can scratch back with an eye bar to get it perfectly flat if you're struggling to get it flat with just a normal float. So I'd recommend that, mate. I just had one up there. What was it? He asked me. Quite an interesting question. Is 24 a good age to start an apprenticeship and learn? I've got a couple of answers for that. I think 24, not wrong with the age. I know people who've started later than that and done well, you know, in the career. But I think learning a skill or anything like that is always going to be valuable to you. No one can take it away from you. You can always do it. But yeah, I think it's the only thing you're probably going to worry about taking an apprenticeship at 24 is finances. Obviously, people ain't going to pay you top money. People aren't going to pay you top money to be an apprentice for it. Do you know what I mean? But It's never too late. If you can pick stuff up quickly, you'll be in a good position. You know, I mean, if you can pick stuff up, you know, quite easy, you'll be in a good position to continue your career. That's what we look for when we're hiring people, is hard workers, great timekeepers, and someone who's actually going to pick it up. That's the thing. So if you show good progress, you could have a really good career. 24 is young, man. You're still young. You've got a lot of chance. You could do anything you want at 24. So yeah, you know, that's baby. That's a baby right there. You're nice. You've got plenty of time. Choose what you want, and get stuck into it. That's what I'd recommend, mate. You're still a young lad or girl, whatever you are. Get stuck in. What's this been today? To price a job last week, 2 pillars outside the house, chipped all the render off, got beads on today and putting eco rend on, smoky grey hopefully. Yes, Fred, that's what I like to wear, bit of eco rend, MR1 smoky grey. Woo, good gear that, mate. I love eco rend, I guess you can tell, from my neck of woods as well. So yeah, I would recommend MR1 on pillars. It'll look mint. I'll tell you what, mate, if you do that, yeah, bang us a picture up over on TikTok or something. Let us have a look at it. I'd like to see what it looks like. I've never used that colour before. Nah, don't think I have. But yeah, I hope that goes well for you, man. I got another one from a fella, Robbie again. Do you have a video on rendering garden walls, etc.? Can't see all your videos on here. Have I got any garden walls? I've actually done one on garden walls, to be fair, yeah. I've done a full video on it. I've got a few. One of my first ones I ever did was a garden wall on here, and that was done in a grey, and that was in Morley in Leeds. And I did that by myself with a machine. So I actually set my machine up, sprayed that myself, and did it all by myself, really. Yeah, and that was in Fassa. And then I've done a garden wall by myself again with a machine, with my K4 machine, and that was in Waking. I was using Fassa K over, which is a white cement base coat. It's really sticky. And yeah, I've actually got one of a Parex one that I did a couple of years ago, and yeah, that's the full thing as well on a curved garden wall. So I've got a few on my YouTube. If you go through it and have a look, mate, you'll see them. One of my first videos is a garden wall. So it's saying I've only uploaded 5 videos. Nah, I've done more than that. Yeah, if you go to the video section, you're probably looking at the page at the front where it just shows you 5, but at the top it says like videos, shorts, live, and it'll say like associated pages, I think it is. If you go to videos, click on it, all of them come up, and then you can go to the bottom then, and yeah, you'll be flying. What's this? Another one I've got. God, I did not expect to get this many questions, I'll tell you that. Station with Paolo who got laid off, so hopefully start something good. Grabbed it from Rendit in Donny. Yes, so you're doing it all, matey. So I use Rendit in Donny, James Kitchen, top drawer fella, top drawer company. They've got a great system when I'll deliver the materials as well. So I deal with James at Rendit and Kevin Frost and that down there. And you know what, one of the best setups, if not the best setup they've got there for materials. I use them, and like I say, Eco Rend as well, it comes from there. So yeah, they're great. You can't go wrong with that, mate. And they'll give you good support as well. They actually know what they're on about. So if you talk to Kevin or to James, they can actually tell you stuff. They know what they're on about. They're not just pushing gear, you know what I mean? So yeah, I rate that, mate. Good on you. Using a good product and you get it from a good supplier who's going to back you up, and also the product will back you up. So that's good. Good on you, mate. Love to see that. Love to see them gear that I recommend getting used. I really do. Easy Bro, spoke to you on Insta before, not sure if you remember. Basically, I mean, do site work, plots, etc. and bits from, where have you gone off? Bits from builders, but wondering how I can start getting more domestic leads. Wow, that is a question. Hinks and plastering. That is a question, man. I mean, I only said I wanted to be on here for an hour and a half. And that's all I'm looking to do. But you get me going, I'll be here all night, so I'll keep it brief for you on that part. Let's wet my whistle. So you asked me, How do you get more domestic leads? I'll tell you a couple of tips, right? Man, I don't know where to start because there's so many things I could tell you. But one of them is this: if you're on Facebook, if you've got a Facebook page, personal page, and a business page, basically you want your personal page. Now, this is where people get tripped up. You try and separate your life from your business, which is, I understand, but you've got to understand as well, when you want domestic work, a lot of it is word of mouth. People actually need to know what you do. So you need to, it needs to reflect you. Your personal Facebook page needs to reflect you, and also your business page needs to reflect you. People want to know you, they need to know you if you want to do domestic work. I just recommend that when you're doing a job, you make it look like you're working locally, you're working on people's actual houses. So I used to get the question all the time of, do you do small jobs, because they always used to see me on big building sites and stuff like that, and they used to think that I never did small jobs, which obviously I did do, but it's how you look to them. So when the people see me doing a living room and I put it on my personal page, like, oh, I just boxed off this living room, it looks mint, it looked like this before, check this out, look, this is what I did. Next thing you know, I've got people on my personal Facebook page who message me and go like that, who I'd never met before, and they just go like, oh Joel, my mate needs a room doing. I've never met him before, I've never talked to him about work or anything before, but they've just gone, my mate Joel, he's a plasterer, he's wicked, he always does great work, and they'll share my page, or they'll share me, or next thing I'll just get a phone call from someone, or a message from someone saying, look, I've got this, I've got that, can you do it for me? So a lot of it is done through your friends, man, your network. You don't need to, it's overshot when people say to you need to go on My Builder and Trust the Trade, and I get all these people offering me stuff to do like bark and stuff like that. Now, I've had people go on there and they try to sell me links and stuff, and it's kind of like, I ain't really going to pay for something that, it's not guaranteed. But when it's come from your mate, if your mate tags you or recommends you, it's more or less nailed on, you're going to get the job, in it. So I'd look at more of that. I'd look to grow your personal Facebook page and add your content in there from your business page, share it. Oh, look at this house I did, look at this room I plastered, look at this. And that's how you're going to get more domestic work. It's word of mouth, a lot of it, mate, and you've got to build a reputation up. It might be slow at first, but after 6 months to a year, you'll be getting a job every other day from it. And that's kind of like how mine is now with rendering. A lot of my work comes through recommendation, and to be fair, my website's performing all right now as well. But yeah, that's what I'd recommend to you, mate. If you want to get into doing more domestic work, don't throw a load of money into doing loads of sponsored ads and stuff like that. You can do it all for free, mate, by yourself, and it'll be more effective because it's from you. So that's what I would recommend. People want to see you, they want to know who's coming to my house to plaster it. That's what they need to know. So get sharing on your Facebook, mate. That's what I recommend to you. Hope that helps you. I hope that gives you some advice. But like I say, I could give you a million other tips, but I've only got an hour and a half max. Jeff Lewis, what base coat is good to get a gable on and then power float next morning? Again, depending how big the gable is, and depending depending on the temperatures, depending on the area, there's a lot of variables on it, depending on the suction on the wall, loads of things, mate. If you want to power float the next day, what have I done before? I've done a fair few things, mate. I've actually put plastic down, you can get the drop down protection. I've actually sprayed base coat on a wall before, ruled it up to a decent level where I wanted it, and then put drop down on it. Just laid drop down on it when it was wet, pushed it into it, went home, come back next day, peeled it off. It was like I just sprayed it more or less, because the air won't get into it. The air won't get into it to batter it. So a lot of things come into it. If you're doing a gable end that's exposed to wind, you know what I mean, it's gonna be rock hard in the morning. So a lot of it dries through air, doesn't it? So you've got to take a lot in consideration. If you want to get something that you could bar back the next day and possibly give it a power float, I'd definitely go with a bow mitt. product called KZP, which I talked about earlier. That's a really good material. Actually, to be fair, X32 and Star Contact are quite good as well. But again, it's one of them. I don't know what your situation is. I usually judge stuff while I'm there. Like, I've done walls before where I know it's gonna shoot off, so I don't risk it. I've done walls before where I know it's gonna last forever, and I'll just do it. Do you know what I mean? So depends what your situation is. But slow setters, you're gonna get KZP. You could even put a bit of retarder in if you wanted to do that as well. You could put that into anything you use, Eco Rend, or if you're using K-Rend, put a bit of retarder in, it'll hang about for you. But yeah, there are a couple of tips that you can do to make it last longer, so you can get some area on and get it back in morning. Still, but just be careful with wind, mate. And obviously in summer when it's red hot, nah, it's not happening. You need to do it same day. But I know you, mate. Your hand applying everything before with a machine I could get on, but it's just finishing it. Yeah, you need to. The thing is, mate, there's systems out there that you can do now. When I'm telling you about the stuff that I'm doing with my Optimix that I've just picked up from Predator range up at Direct Building, what I'm doing with that there is part of my system. So I think every renderer has got their own way of doing a job, and what they see as being quicker, easier, and gives them the best finish for what they are, how they work. And I figured mine out, and that's what I was doing today with my machine. When I was up there, I was figuring out where it's going to fit in. I needed something to fit. I needed something that was going to fit in to what I'm doing seamlessly. That's what I needed. And I went up there today and we figured it out, and bam, that's where I am. So I'm going to do a video on a full system. But I think with machines and that, like you say, people want a machine, but they want a machine because they look good. Realistically, a machine is just literally, it's a tool to just get you on wall, mate. That's all it is. So my K4 is just used to pump out area, because hand applying 10 to 15 mil ain't gonna cut it, mate. I ain't looking to do that. I'd rather spray it on, because I know I can get it on wet and I can cover the area. And my way is spray it on, get it out at beads, rule it up, stick the mesh on at the surface, go on, mate. Next day, come in, Optimix, mix up by Mega Mixer, some wet base coat, tip it into Optimix, spray a little slurry coat over the top of it, get spat on it, get me sent off to have some dinner, come back, power float, boom, wall's ready to go. That's my system in a nutshell, and that's why I'm catering it with the machines I'm getting and the products I'm using, power floats, spats, rules, the two machines, even with it down to the primer. I'm looking at spray primer, I'm not looking at a rollers primer anymore or anything like that. Everything I want is machine applied to make it quicker and easier on my body. So, like I say to you, mate, machines are the way forward if you know how to use them and you want to bring them in and put them in systems and stuff. My cat's here kicking off again, she loves it. She just wants to be on camera, I think. Yeah, Sinkson, mate, I hope it goes well for you. Fred Smith, no problem, mate, I like sharing advice, man. I hope you get it smashed off, yeah. Mark Anthony, hey mate, oh it's great, top man. I have a question. When you spray texture on base coat, do you prime the walls, or is it easier without priming? So look, mate, it's when it comes to spraying on, for spec you've got to prime a wall. You've got to put primer on it for spec. You've got to. Does that mean you have to? No, it don't. You can spray straight onto it. I know some people say it peels off, it does this and that, it doesn't. I've sprayed straight onto walls before when I've run out of primer. So I've primed up a full job before and literally bottom half of one wall and got no primer on it because we've run out and I need to get done, so I'm spraying it. I'll tell you what it does do, it uses more top coat, because you can imagine if I spray a house white and the back of it's grey, you're going to have to put more coats on to cover the grey. So you're best off primering it, and if you did go a bit light in an area or you did miss a little bit, you're not going to see it. Obviously the texture might be a bit different. If you notice that, then you're going to have to spray it again or whatever, but what I'm trying to say is it makes it easier to cover the grey, so I would primer it. But spec wise, manufacturers, they want you to primer it. So yeah, I would, depending on what I'm doing. A grey house, if someone's a grey house and I've got grey back base coat on it, you know what I mean, it's one of them. But yeah, mate, do what you want. But I'm saying to you, it's not going to fall off the wall if you don't prime it. That's all I'm saying to you. Do with that what you must. But yeah, that is it. Right, listen, I've got... You thought it would be easy to see where you've been if it wasn't primed. It'll be, mate, it'll be easy for them to see where you want been if it ain't primed. Never mind you. So listen, yeah, just prime it, pal. Trust me. Give it. I found when I prime a house up, I spray them a lot quicker. Put it that way. I spray them a lot quicker when I prime it. But I know what you're saying, pal. If you can see where you want been, the customer's gonna come in and go, how come my house looks like a zebra? So just get it primed up. But yeah, if you run out, don't you? You know what I mean? Is what it is. What size nozzle do you use, Joel, and what PSI do you run at with the silicone top coat? So PSI. What's PSI? You know what you do on tyres? Sure, PSI is what you do on tyres, isn't it? I just know it in bars. Spray, 4 bars is minimum for silicone, I'd say. 4 bars minimum, anything higher is better. And what were the rest? What were the first part of that? What size nozzle? What size nozzle? So it varies. Generally for me it's a 6mm nozzle that I use. Anything smaller than that, it jams. But I use 6mm. I always have done 6mm nozzle. You can use a 4. You can use. You got to remember your aggregate that's in the top coat's only 1.5. It'll go through. But I like to get a decent fan. So 6mm. I've used 8mm before. But 6mm is my preferred nozzle. That's one I prefer to use. Right, I'm going to read out some of the questions that I've actually got from people as well, because it's funny. Someone asked me, because I've been testing machines out, someone's asked me how much do I want for my machine. Oh my god, it's not for sale, mate. She's not for sale. Although my missus would quite like me to probably get rid of some of my tools. I think she knows that I'm attached to my machines. But other than that, I love her and I use her all the time, so I would never let her go. Well, I would let her go, but not now. But when it does come up for sale, I know that you can get a good second-hand K4 for around the £4,000 mark, and that'll be a good one. So yeah, just put it out there, get saving, and you can put some money aside and I'll give you a nod. Yes, travel talk as well. I just seen you pop up there, Stuart, mate. I hope you're well. Good to see you on here giving us a watch, man. On my first Wednesday night live. I'm gonna be doing these every week, by the way, guys. Right, are serrated edges good on OCR and sand and cement? So serrated edges for me are absolutely the nuts, mate. They are the nuts. It's a great tool, great kit. I always use them. That's me now. I'd always use a serrated edge. Listen, it will go through any type of backing coat, sand and cement. It'll cut through it nicely. Just try not to play with it too much, because it does knock the gear back up and make it a lot more wetter, and it might slump in places. I've often found, like before when I used to play with it quite a lot, that's what it used to do. It sounded dodgy that when I used to play with it a lot. That sounded a bit weird, didn't it? But anyway. They're more than easy to use on sand and cement and OCR, and I'd recommend using it especially with OCR. Yep. Someone asked me, right, and this question is quite funny, to be fair. Someone asked me this, right, and people say it all the time, they take the piss out of me. He's asked me to say plastering again. Now, I don't know, do I say it posh? Do I say it common? What is it? Plastering. That's how I say it, plastering. I don't say plastering. I say plastering. I don't know, but sometimes people take piss out of the way I say plastering. So yeah, that's how I say it. So I've said it about 5 times for you there. So you can have a laugh if you want. Keep lemon it all you want. Right, okay. Fellas asked me, hi mate, I'm after advice on putting an accelerator in OCR and mortar mixes. Will it make it crack? That's what he asked me. Now, quick answer is no, it won't. But what will make your render crack, like your OCR and your standard cements, or any type of base coat, any type of, if you want to suction control, that's what it is. It all boils down to suction control, mate. So if you put, don't matter if you put an accelerator in it or you're putting in retarder in it, it don't matter, mate. If your background's sucking the life out of it and drawing all the moisture out, that's where you're going to get shrinkage and cracks. So the accelerator, it doesn't make the water disappear. Do you know what I mean? It just makes the material, set quicker, the chemical reaction go quicker. That's what it does. So it don't make the water disappear from the render to make it shrink and crack. Do you get me? So if you're getting cracking, it's usually your background that's the issue. It's pulling moisture too quick out of the render, and the render's just like not getting a chance for it to bind and all that kind of stuff. So I'd look into controlling suction more than worrying about accelerator in there. But yeah, I would use it. I've used it loads of times. I do use it. I use accelerators. I stick them in all the time. I use retarders sometimes as well. It's depending what time of year it is, what I think the wall's going to be like, what kind of working time do I need and all that. That all comes into it for me. But yeah, mate, listen, it won't be that if you have had any cracking before. It'll be your suction. I'd recommend using something like an S10. Cat's going divvy. Don't know if you can hear us. He's running around like a nutter. You can use an S10 from EcoRend S10 primer, and that is bad. Like, that is bad, boy. That kills suction. Boy, I just use that on every surface before I even start. I just get a brush on. Lad will like to me, how come you're brushing it on? It doesn't take long at all. You literally dip it in, bam, 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 and it just kills suction. And literally, you know, lets you get on, and it helps bond to the wall as well. So that's a good one. But yeah, it won't crack by using an accelerator, but it will crack if you go onto a wall that's sucking the life out of it. Someone else asked me this. I get this on TikTok quite a bit. Do you cover other cities, i.e. this in particular was Birmingham? Not really. I've been offered jobs all over the place, London and yeah, all over in Wales and all that kind of stuff, and down in Kent. I've been offered loads of jobs like that, nice big houses and stuff, but nah, I've got a family and that, mate, and to be fair, I don't really need to travel. I've got enough work around where I am. I've got a good reputation around here, and I don't really need to travel. But anyone who does ask me, if you're watching this and you are looking for someone, I've got a network of people who I talk to all over. Believe it or not, we're a bit nerdy about it. We've got a few renderers up and down the Great Britain, and we all talk together. So if you are in Birmingham and you are struggling for someone who is going to be class, because not everyone does this social media stuff, but you know, I do know guys who are quality at it all over the country. So if you are stuck, drop me an inbox and I'll put you in touch with them, no problem. But for me, it'd have to be, I don't know, it'd have to be some strange circumstances that I actually went and worked in, like Birmingham or London or anything like that. But for me, I'm a homebody. I stick to Leeds. I like to be with my missus and my family, and like that's what I like to do. So yeah, but no, I don't do it. But I know people who will, who are near you, so you can message me. Someone asked me this question, and again, I get a lot about sand and cement, and I don't have a problem with it. I feel like it's a little bit old school now. Well, it is old school now, and I think there's a lot of stuff that's been proven with sand and cement products that defeats a lot of the health issues that we have with houses. It kind of defeats it and goes against it. Whereas the new stuff, being breathable and all having lime in it and stuff like that, is good for the properties. So for me, I don't offer it anymore, sand and cement, but I have done a lot of it. Like I explained earlier, when I said that I used to do it for the council, I used to do sand and cement because that's like what they say, they wanted to pay for it. So my mix, I'll tell you my mix what it was. I don't know if anyone else does this, but my mix was usually a 4-to-1 mix, and it was 1 bag of sharp sand or river sand. We used to get decent sharp sand at Gibbs and Dandy's. Oh no, it wasn't Gibbs and Dandy's, about it was Travis Perkins actually, and it was really nice fine stuff. We used to get that from there, and then we used 3 bags of building sand. So that's the 4 sand there, 1 river, 3 building, and then we'd use a bag of cement, and that'd be our 4-to-1 mix. And we'd probably put in there some SBR or some retarder as well, just to help it stick together and help it, you know, obviously defroster helps it, done it workability as well. So that's the mix I used to do for it. Like I said, I haven't done sand and cement for a very, very long time, but yeah, that's the mix I use, and that's the sand I use. Just be careful where you get it from, because some people get really shit sanding, mate. I've had it before where it's had proper stones in, and you know, bits of like tile ceramic and the shit in it. Like you can tell it's just been dug up from some random sandpit and put in a bag, and it were awful. It just means it's hard to finish and sponge up. When you come to end sponging it, you just get scratches and drag marks in it. But building sand and sharp sand I found were nice. That's what we used mainly. Why does actually a customer, not my customer, but a customer actually asked me this question, saying that his render looked a bit patchy, and he had it sprayed and it was tyrolened actually, he said, and he said it looked patchy after, and all that's down to it could be a few things. It could be the fact of it hadn't been sprayed consistently, the material might not have been mixed properly before it was put in and sprayed, couldn't have been primed. There's loads of different things. Easy option though, if you're happy with the consistency of the texture, easy option for you is just to paint it. That's it, and it's cheaper. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I recommend. If the guy don't want to come back and sort it out, that's what I'd say. Just paint it, get the colour and paint it. Do you know what I mean? And you'll get the consistency. It's the colour. As long as the texture's all alright, you'll be laughing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I won't worry about it. I've got one more question. Alex Curros, go on, the spreads. Up the spreads from Essex. Essex boys. Where did I get my black diamond float pointed from? This is a mad one, mate. This is quite a good question, because for whatever reason, I don't know. I seen Mark using it from Mr. Smooth. He had one time ago, and I was like, "Where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that from?" He told me, Rafina. I went on Rafina website. Not there. Got in touch with him anyway. He had one. Sent me it out. I used it. Went back on the website. It's not there again. I'm like, "Why are you selling them?" Just like, they just don't sell them. We don't really sell them. They're hard to get older or something. So they don't really push them. But I do know that a few suppliers do have them now. So if you go online and check them out, type in what it is, you can get hold of them, the black diamond float point, and they're really good, mate. Good for getting in peaks, good for reveals. Yeah, they're really good bit of kit, the pointed ones, diamond floats. I love them. I need a new one. I've got one out there, but it's cracked. I've absolutely drilled it to the ground. But yeah, I was actually talking to a manufacturer about them, to be fair, because I couldn't get hold of one for ages. But just never got round to ordering any. But yeah, you can get them online, mate. They are mint. So what have I got here? To be fair, that's pretty much, that's just over an hour. That. What's this here? Oh right. Oh shit, I just found loads. Oh wow, just found loads on oh god, I didn't know these were here. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh, I've missed a load here. Sorry guys, this is on TikTok. I didn't see him, mate. Oh, this is nuts. It's 28, that one, I've got that one. Render, I'll give 25 years, I've got it anymore. I'm a plastering machine renderer. Yes, Stu Scott. I'm off the tools now as I'm technical render manager for Surface, who made their own products. Great videos. Thanks a lot, mate. Cheers for that. I'm 30-year-old renderer, but not machine applied. Any chance of doing a week's work with you? I get asked this a lot, mate. To be fair, yeah, I'll be honest with you. I know there's a few ways that you can get into it now, with the training and stuff like that. So, Mark from Mr. Smooth Plastering, he's actually got a training course. I'd recommend that you get in touch with him, mate, because you'll be learning off the best there. He is the man at it, and he'll teach you everything you need to know about machines, if that's what you want to get into. He'll show you the way. Working with me for a week, pal, I'm literally non-stop, so I don't even have a chance to really teach anyone, I'll be honest with you, not right now. It's something I'm looking at in future, but right now, if you worked with me for a week, you wouldn't pick up half as much as what you could do if you were like in a proper dedicated training room, like spraying on walls with him, and he can talk to you about it, you've got time and stuff. A lot of my stuff I don't really have time, I'm just like, get there in the morning, boom, go. So I'll be pretty I'll be dead honest with you, I've had lots of people ask me to do that, but I will probably look into doing a bit of training. I might set up a training course or something up here. Maybe one of the manufacturers have actually, I know a couple of manufacturers have looked at doing something like that. So if it does come about, I'll post it up obviously, and come over there and do that, mate. But yeah, I've got what is the best way to spray Rendervate with the machine? Rendervate, I think, is Rendervate from Weber, and is it a base coat? I'm not quite sure what Rendervate is. It sounds daft, that, doesn't it? I think it's just a base coat in it that sticks to anything. I'm sure that's what it is. I just put it through the machine wet, and there's still like a splatter coat. That's all I'd look to do with it. I think it is basically a scrubbing coat in it, that's what it is. And then you start your system over the top of it. Yeah, just mix it wet and get it shot on. That's how I've seen it done anyway. I've seen people do coats like that. How do you know when it's time to power float HP12? Looking at getting one soon. Right, when it comes down to power floating, it's one of them, right? You'll know roughly when it's ready, but you want it to look. I find the power float's best when it looks like it's done. When you look at, you touch your arm, you're thinking, shit, I've missed it. Like, you'll know that feeling what I'm on about, where you think, shit, I've missed it, it's done, it's gone too far, I'm not gonna get it back. That's shit. That's what you think. Now for me, that's when I think, yo, power float. And then all I do then is give it a little mist of water, power float on, diamond float on, bam, brings it back lovely. Especially with X32, that's why I love using it. I honestly, man, I think I've shot some videos that I haven't edited yet, and it's basically me doing my skimming coat of X32 and then power floating it up. It's mega, mate, honestly. It is a good, it's a really good way of doing it, and gets it ultra flat. Yeah, so don't be worried if you're using a power float and you think it's gone off. It hasn't gone off, mate. Just get some water on it, yeah, and get straight back on it, and it'll be sound. It'll come back to life and you'll get it lovely. Last thing you want to do is go on it too wet, mate, because it just starts messing up your walls. So yeah, let it go, let it go, let it go. Liam has asked me, what's the best way for a college student to find some work in plastering? God, I never went to college, mate, so I didn't really do that route. I just like basically hounded down John Rodriguez for a job for months until he said yeah. That's what I did. But what I will say to you, mate, is if you do want to go into it, just be prepared to do go above and beyond what you think it might be, just so that you can impress whoever it is who's giving you the chance, mate. That's your aim. Once you do get a chance to put a foot in, mate, you want to jump straight through the door, yeah? That's what you want to do. So work hard. Like I say, when I first started working with John, I grafted him for two months probably. Every week I'd ring him and he'd be like, mate, I'll be back in touch with you, back in touch with you. Don't worry, I'll be back in touch with you, I'll be back in touch with you. And I grafted on him, mate, for ages. And what's the last thing I'm going to do as soon as he said to me, right, come to the job and I'll give you a chance. And when I got there, I was shit, couldn't plaster or anything. And anyway, got there and he just laughed at me because I was shit. But he said, you grafted to get through the door. He said, you've turned up on time, you're dressed for the job, you've got all your tools, bearing in mind they're brand new and not being used. He goes, but you're here and you're on it. I'll give you 50 quid a day. Then you take it or leave it. Mate, I was staying and I grafted. I grafted there. I worked for him for 6-7 years, mate. And yeah, I left there knowing a lot of stuff. But that's the one thing I'm going to tell you. If someone lets you in to a company, because it's quite an hard thing to do, I can appreciate that. And I wish you the best of luck with it. But if you do get in there, make sure that undeniably you're an hard worker. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'd say. You'll only work hard for the first few years and then it'll become easy to you because you'll be getting good. So that's what I'd recommend to you to do, yeah? Alright, mate, can you spray straight render, sand and cement? I'm in Ireland, I'm thinking of getting one. So my machine I've just got now, an Optimix, is you could mix sand and cement in a cement mixer, and then you could pour it into my Optimix and then pump it onto the wall. Great machine for it, if that's what you want to do. Other than that, you can do OCRs and stuff like that. You can put them through most mixing machines. But if you just want a conveying machine, my Optimix is that type of machine. Mix up in a big mixer, drop it into there, and it'll convey material to where you want it. That's what it's built for. It's absolutely beauty. So yeah, you can use it, matey. Hi mate, how did you find work with Roddy? Was it this repair work? How did I find working with Roddy? Do you know what, mate? When I worked with Roddy, it was all I knew. It was the only plastering I knew. I didn't know anything else. I didn't know that big mansions existed. I know that houses existed, but I didn't think it was possible for me to do them. I didn't know how to do them. I just literally, when I started working with Roddy, we was doing kitchen, bathroom rewire contract for the council. And that was basically, you go in, bathroom being ripped out, we repair all the walls and skim it, and the ceilings as well. And then the house gets a full rewire, we have to go do the rewire, patch that in, and you get 2 days to do it. Obviously for me it took longer when I first started, but at the end of it I could do it in a day and be home nice and early. But yeah, that's what we used to do. So there was the element of repair work. That's where I learned to do patches as well. It could be anything from just a socket movement. Someone's removed the socket over, or moved it higher, or moved it to a side of the room, or whatever. And then our patch could be a full ceiling. Half of it's come down, you've got to patch one half of it. So that's what I did. But then he had voids as well. When you're a good plasterer and you're quick and you can do multiple things like floating, which I was good at, and I got in with Danny Alas, me and him worked together on it. We could turn an house out for him from an absolute battered house into a good house in a couple of weeks from scratch. So he makes a lot of money off of us doing that, so we used to do that. But yeah, it was a bit of everything. Sometimes I'd do a full week of patching because I just couldn't be asked doing an house. I'd be like, look mate, can I just get a lot of little jobs because I'm a bit shot or whatever, and he'd just be like, yeah of course, and he'd just give me a week of patching. I'll just drive all over doing patches. So yeah, pretty variable mate, you can do all sorts. And John Roddy's is a lovely guy, and I get on with him, and I get on with his family, and especially his dad as well. I get on with him really well. I haven't seen him for a long time, but they did a lot for me, mate. John Rodriguez and that, they did a lot for me, mate, to get me going. So for always be respectful for them, mate. But yeah, he's doing well. He's got a good business. He's still going strong. What's this here? Your opinion on a good plastering machine? Mate, you want to talk about plastering machines? I've just been to see one today that's just been launched called it's from the Predator range, and it's called what's it called now? Oh, I forgot, my mind's gone blank. It's called a Sprinter. It's called a Sprinter, and it's quite cutting edge. I've had a few people on Instagram already messaging me about it, established people as well, good people, good at what they do, asking me about it because it's very rare that you can get a machine like this with the air compressor on it and the water pump on it all in one unit and have the power. First time it got used was today, and up the wall plastering was on site down at Direct, and they had a go of it as well. So there's only me and up the wall and them who've actually used this machine and seen it go. And I've shared obviously a couple of videos with a couple of guys who are interested in it. But yes, it is going to be up there. It's going to be good. So go look at the Predator range. They're just working on a website right now, so you can't check everything. But if you go to me on Instagram, Rendervate Leeds, go on there and you'll see me. I'm sharing machines and stuff on there, and Dave Anderson is as well. So get on that and have a look. I'd recommend them machines to you. Started when I was 16, now 21, doing site work, rough casting and flat scratch, and can tell you now. Can tell you now what? Black deal, what's happening here? Can you tell me what your new machine is so I can have a look online? Go to my Instagram page, mate. Go to my Instagram page, Rendervate Leeds. It's on there. Like I say, the website's getting done. But my machine's a Predator Optimix. That's the new one I've got today. Great bit of kit. You're going to see some YouTube videos on it as well, so don't worry about that. I've done council bashing 5 years. Hard going at first, takes a while to get used to it. Nick, you're right, mate. It does take a few years to get used to it, but once you do get into it and you do get used to it and you work out the systems and the methods that are quicker, you know, I was finishing work when I was working for Roddy. I'd get there at 7:30. I'd get to Merchants for 7:30. Sorry, get my gear and get to the job, and I'd be loading up for 8, getting in, and I'd be out of there. I could get in and do a job, and I'd be out of there for 3 hours. I was in the gym every day for 3 hours. I was a lot slimmer, and I trained very hard back then as well. But that's you know. So when I first started, them jobs were taking me till like 6 o'clock. And I'd get home and my mum would make me dinner. I didn't see dinner plate because I'd just get on bed and I'd be like that, out, zonked. But after 2 or 3 years in the game of doing it, I was going into jobs, mate, and I was obliterating them. Mint finishes, never got any pulls, any drawbacks, anything like that. And that was it, man. I loved it. It got to a point where lads were going, I always see Joel going to gym when I'm off to go pick more gear up, and I'm like, well, it's your fault, innit? Do you know what I mean? You've been doing it longer than me, but you know. So I ended up getting a patch as well. You started chucking a patch in with me, but then you got to understand I know how to do a quicker mix on patches as well. So send me a patch on the way home. Might take someone an hour and a half. It takes me 20 minutes, mate, and how to get that going off. Trust me. So I used to box them off as well. So yeah, didn't get paid no more though. Bit of a liberty. What is what it is. Someone says where am I from? From Leeds. Can't you tell the Yorkshire accent? I'm from Leeds. I'm not related to Keith Lemon or Kel Brook or any other Leeds people you might know. But yeah, that's where I'm from. I'm from Leeds. But yeah, man, I've been on here for a while now. What's that? 76 minutes. So that is 1 hour and 15 minutes. I'm looking to shoot real soon. Sam Hendry, how long have you done plastering? Since I was 20. Done plastering since I was 20 and I'm 36. So 16 years. 7 of them I was working for someone. About 5 or 6 years of that with probably a year break when we had a recession. But 5 or 6 years completely grafting for someone and the rest of it for myself. So yeah, 16, coming up to 17 years. That's how long I've been doing it. Any tips for getting more private work? At the beginning of this thread, I actually shared a few tips on that. That'll be on the YouTube channel. But yeah, literally, matey, just get on your personal stuff. If you want private work and domestic work, you're best off going through your mates, anyone you know, friends and family. That's what I'd recommend you do. Go that avenue, because they're going to sell it for you. They're going to sell you out there, your mate. So, what's this? What's your go-to base coat product? KZP, X32 or HP12? No brainer, X32. X32 beats them all for me. That's the one I prefer to use, Eco Rend. All the other ones are good though. They're all good, but X32 for me, I find it to be the best one to work with. It's got a great balance of polymers in there and everything for me, and I love working with it. So, but the other ones I won't knock, mate. After X32, I'll tell you it's Star Contact from Balmic. That's the next best one for me. Do you reckon it's better work for someone else or by yourself? I don't really know, mate. It depends what you want out of life. It's one of them questions, that, mate. You can expansion on that so much. I just think it's a lot harder working for yourself, which people seem to think it'd be easier. You work a lot longer working for yourself because you're looking at jobs and doing your own marketing and talking to your own accountant and doing all that kind of stuff all the time. Not answering your emails or whatever. So I think it's harder working for yourself. It's more rewarding working for yourself, obviously financially, and being your own boss. You can just take a day off whenever you want and book stuff in whenever you want. But I feel like financially, yeah, you say more money, you can, but it depends where you are in the trade. You know what I mean? When I first started working for myself, I was earning less than I was getting when I was working for someone else. Sacrifice I had to do until I realised how to market, how to do a job, how to make sure I was getting my value. So, it's a process, mate. Yeah, it's stressful sometimes, it can be. But yeah, I think we've got over all the stress though now. I've been doing it a while, but I think for anyone who's getting out into it, look at it like this. If you're looking to earn an X amount of money a year and someone can employ you and give you that much money a year, why go? You're getting paid. That's what it is. But if you want to earn extra money, or I don't know, you want to do something a bit different than the current work that you're getting, then go by yourself. But other than that, if it's finances that you're on about, you've actually got to look at what you want out of it. And if you can get that work for someone else, I'd do that because it's an easier way to do it. But for me, it's more than finances. I like doing YouTube and stuff like that though, videos, and you know, obviously if I'm working for someone else and I'm there doing a live, they're going to be like, what are you doing? So it ain't going to work. But yeah, there is more money in it, and it is more self-control in it, doing it, but it's still, it's got its stuff for it, mate. It's a bit harder. Right, I'm done on that. What's this one here? Got a couple on YouTube. I'm going to do a few more that I'm out. Yes, Fred Smith, mate. I'll catch you on the next one. Good to chat to you as well, you know. Ainsley Smith, hi Joel. Have you started taking bookings into the up and coming summer season? How do you stay busy outside during the winter? So, good question. So, mate, I'm a plasterer. I'm not just a renderer, I can plaster as well. But the advances in rendering materials over the last couple of years has been amazing. There's some products coming out from EcoRend like 365, which basically has been tested for thin coat, top coat to dry in like 0 degrees. That's unbelievable, and that's because it's science. It's generally renders are dried from the air, but with this it's dried through chemical reaction, through science. So it'll dry even when the air or it's in humidity or whatever, it'll still do it. I know K-Rend have brought out monos, a monocouche render, or they're bringing one out, I'm not sure, but they're bringing out a render that basically you can apply it in 0 minus degrees, and you can build it up ridiculous thick, 50mm, and it's got body. So yeah, the technology's changed. So I think in the future it'll probably be harder for you to get someone to work outside with you than actually the material stopping you. It'll be getting someone else who can man up a bit and get outside. I like being outside. I still wear shorts in winter, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm a plasterer, so I go inside if I need to. But generally, what I'm going to be doing now is my Cork sol. So for me, I'm going inside, but I'll be doing Cork sol stuff. That's what I'm looking to do winter times now. Cork sol. That's it. I don't like doing me old school board and skim and all that anymore. It's just a bit. I've done too much of it, man. I tried to think how many boards I've screwed up, how many bags of plaster I've gone through. So for me, I like the new Cork sol thermal insulation. So yeah, that's what I do. I do that. But yeah, winter time is one of them, matey. You know, you have to be, depending on how harsh it is, you have to be smart. Think about it. But yeah, that's what I do, matey. Does the EcoRend come in different colours? Yeah, it comes in loads, mate. Carlos, it comes in loads. Loads of different shades of whites, greys. There's a blues, there's pinks, there's greens, there's all sorts of colours, mate. Depending on what you're doing, they could even get it made to what you wanted. Depending on the size of the project and how much you wanted to pay for it, they could do that. But yeah, they have got a good staple colours, actually. God, I have a book. I've got a book around here somewhere. Oh, it's over there. I'm not going to get it, but I've got a book. It's got loads of colours in, mate. What else is there? I've got one there. That's my Cork sol one. That's my Cork sol chart. So it's similar to what's in this. This is Cork sol. All the different colours there. So it's similar to that. Similar to that. Loads of colours, mate. In thin coat and in monocouche, any of them. Does them all. So I've got that there. When I go look at my next Cork sol job, I'm actually doing one in Sheffield. At the end of this month, I'm doing a job in Sheffield, Cork sol. Nick Way, yeah, you're right, mate. You feel like that internally, it's boring. That's exactly what I got with it. Yeah, it just doesn't challenge you anymore. It's like, I just feel like when you've done it kind of thing. That's how I am anyway. If I feel like I'm getting stuck in a rut with something, I can quite easily go off it. And I think with plastering, every day I'm just doing board and skim. It's just boring to me, mate. It's mind numbing. When you've done that many, it's yeah, it's done. But I think with rendering, it's like, for me, you've got the tools, the toys, you've got everything out there, and you've got all toys and that. You've got the machines, you've got the power floats, you know, you've got the different types of eye bars and spats. I know when it comes to plastering, what have you got? You've got an unboarded trowel and a bucket of gear that's going off on you as soon as you've mixed it up. It's shooting off, so you have to get it all on and go for it. I mean, I did a gauge the other day, and it's easier on me physically, I'd say. But I couldn't do it every day. I couldn't repeat it every day. But when I go in and do one room plastering, it's like, yeah, box that clean off. But I couldn't do it every day because it'd knack my body and it'd just do me head in. So yeah, I prefer to be outside. Me, shorts on, laughing outside. Carlos, do you travel to Cheshire? Nah. Like I said earlier on in this feed, I had someone ask me that. I get offered a lot of jobs all over the place. I say it would take something different for me to want to go somewhere, you know, like outside of Leeds. Like I say, I get a lot of work around here. I'm all right around here in Leeds and Yorkshire area. It'll take something quite different. Say I've got a young family and that, so I don't like to be away from them. I like to be back here with Mrs. It's my place. I love it. You need a power float, a machine and a power float to play with. You do. You do, mate. You do. Go onto my Instagram, and I've got some friends on there who've got some machines and some power floats you can look at. I'm a plasterer and thankfully still loving it. It does take its toll on your body though. Andy B, you're telling me, lad. I know. It does take its toll on you. It's a physical job. It's a really hard job, man. I think it's so underrated, like as in underestimated, shall I say? Like people don't quite get it. It is such a tough job. It is, from everything from lifting up the bags, a plaster 25 kg, carrying them up flights of stairs, plaster boards, what are they, 18, 16 kilos a pop. Yeah, it's an hard job, man. If you're doing plastering every day, I just don't know. I see these old gadgets doing it who are like 50 and that, and they've got elbow supports on, they've got two knee braces on, fucking neck brace on. It's like, bro, not about that life. I'll give you heads up on something. If you are wanting to do commercial work internally, bigger jobs, look at airless. I don't do it, but I know that people out there are doing airless plastering. Go look at that. That's going to be light on your body, using a machine again to spray, and using spats on big poles and lightweight sanders just to rub it back in places. Can't go wrong. You know what I mean? I'd recommend that for longevity in this game. But yeah, handballing it, nah. What's that? Hey Joel, could you message me later? I would like you to review a product of mine. Yeah, man, of course I will. I'll message you after this, matey, see what you've got. See what we can do. Not a problem. But yeah, like I said, guys, I'm just getting to my time now, and I think the missus I need to go in and rub the baby bump, and I need a cuddle. Get to bed, because I'm absolutely knackered. I don't know if you can see it in my eyes, but I'm shattered now. But yeah, okay, mate, I'll get in touch with you after. Listen, guys, anyway, I've had a good chat. I'm pleased that everyone come on. I've been talking non-stop. I feel like my voice is going. Some good questions. I hope you guys got some good value out of it and some good quality out of it, and got some questions answered. This Wednesday stream that I'm going to be doing, there'll be odd ones like this where I'm answering questions and I'm actually, you know, going to answer questions that I get asked through the weeks and stuff like that. But then there might be the odd time where I'm doing an actual podcast where I'm getting someone on, someone else who's in the game. It might not just be plastering, it might be someone else who's done, it might be a builder, or it might be a tiler, or whatever, or someone who I'm interested in, just to get their outlook on the trade and the industry and what they do, because there's a lot of interesting people out there in the building trade, and to be fair, a lot of them, they just don't really have much time to do the YouTube, or they're not interested in doing the YouTube or the streams. But I'll drag them into a studio and get some footage with them, because I believe it'll help a lot of people who are looking at getting into it, young and old, and then customers as well. It'll give them an insight into what we actually do and what tradespeople go through, because I think a lot of customers as well, or potential customers out there, don't quite, you know, get what it entails to be a tradesman, especially a self-employed tradesman, woman, shall I say. Don't have to be a man, does it? But yeah, I think it's just one of them. Let's spread the awareness. If you've enjoyed it, you know, let someone else know that you've enjoyed it. Next Wednesday when I come on, they can watch it too, can't they? I'm going to stream it always on TikTok, and I'm going to stream it always on my YouTube, and I'm going to figure a way out how to get this to work better. Like I say, I'm not the best technical guy, but yeah, I'll get it worked out and that, so we'll get on it. But listen, thanks a lot for watching, and everyone who's messaged me, or if you want to get in touch with me, just drop me an inbox on there, and we'll sort something out. But yeah, man, cheers for watching, guys, and it was great to have you. I hope to see you next week with some of your mates as well. So have a good night, and I'll catch up with you later on. Thank you. End. Yeah, cheers my boys, Trial Talk lads there. Good to see you coming on. Thanks for coming on, man, and watching and supporting us. And yeah, I'll catch up with you on the next one as well. I'll catch up with you through the week, and I look forward to going to Scotland for a little trip. So anyhow, catch up with you soon. Bye bye.